Is this thing on? Welcome in, guys.
Oh,
Welcome in
yeah.
myself, Thomas Young, 1997, on the twitch.tv/1997. Thomas Young, 1997.
Yo, fuck
Guys,
that up.
shut up. It's been a long day at work. Anyway, welcome in. I Boozy, episode number 34. Josh, how are we doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been waiting for this. I don't know, man. It feels like we've been away for a long time. It's only been last week,
It
but
has it has been a while. It has
Have
been
you
a
been
while.
waiting though?
No,
yeah.
yes, honestly, no. Guys, for anyone that's new here, honestly, this is probably like one of our, if not our highlight of the week doing this podcast. It's nice that it's on a Friday because, like, long week of work, just able to chill out,
Yeah.
get the beers in. You know the rest. You know the rules, guys. It feels like we haven't done a special guest episode in ages. So yeah, if you can't read the title, haven't seen the tweets, we are joined by StormySparrow 93. Get a little wherever you are. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Also known as Karina. Karina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Doing well. You're better. You're better now, though. This has been highly anticipated, highly requested.
Has it? No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it's been in the works.
Right, it's been highly requested, but mainly by yourself. Anyway, you boozed us, but guys, without further ado, it's disclaimer time. So this podcast is solely for entertainment purposes only. We do not advocate the overconsumption or abuse of alcohol, and we certainly do not promote binge drinking. All guests have the choice whether they wish to consume alcohol or not, and it is their responsibility to drink responsibly. And with that being said, cheers.
Cheers to that. Thank you.
Karina, do we have a drink of choice tonight, or I'll say tonight for us. It's what time is it for you? 2:00.
Water. It's water.
Fair enough. That is very sensible. There's water in this as well. I don't know how much. How much is in the chat?
But yeah, so yeah, let's get. I don't know. Let's get right into this.
There's water in there.
So yeah, I guess to kind of start off. Obviously, you know, a lot of people know you from Twitter. As quite a hardcore player. And you've recently got into streaming, right?
Yeah, just recently. It was kind of based off of. It originally kind of started off of like bets, and then people were like pushing me at it and whatever. So one day I was just like, screw it, we're just gonna do it.
A bet.
Yeah.
A bet of what? Okay. Talk us through it. What kind of bet? Because
it was kind of just like a friend. It was like, oh, I bet you, like one of these days, like I bet you're not going to, and then the other one was like, oh, you're going to do it, and whatever. And there's just like more like, I guess, pitter patter amongst one another kind of thing. So
they just tried to push you sort of in that direction rather than just be like, actual like physical, like, I bet you 20 quid that you're not going to do that sort of thing. Like, you didn't do it to prove them.
No.
You just did it because they sort of like they gave you that push.
Yeah.
Well, so
people.
Oh, sorry. So from that, it kind of sounds like you kind of wanted to stream anyway. Is that?
Yeah, I kind of did. I've thought about it. I mean, there's been many different like, I don't know how to put it.
Opportunities.
Words.
Words. Has there been a reason why? Has there been a reason why you've left it until now? Type thing.
Well, it's kind of been like, cause I'm not necessarily shy, but like, the theory of it, everything just kind of is like, I don't know. But yeah.
So you've recently got into streaming.
I've been warming up a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. But so you're fairly new to streaming. How the streams been going? How's the community kind of welcomed it?
I want to say it's going, like, for me, I feel it's going pretty well. I mean, I am enjoying it. I mean, really, I'm not like 100% for the money or anything. I just I like having, it feels like that I'm able to have people around me without having people around me. It's kind of a unique experience overall.
Right. Okay. I mean, to be fair, that's good. I think if it's not enjoyable or fun and it feels like a chore, it kind of falls flat, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that's good because I don't know. I feel like Twitch is a complete different kind of viewership to like your friends that you already know, right? You kind of opening up like a whole different avenue, right?
Yeah. Well, I've also now been working on like other things. Like I haven't started it yet, but I've been thinking about going into TikTok and like other aspects eventually over time, because I did do TikTok, but like this was back just like a couple months before, or just like I think it was a couple months after level 50, like just the aspect of level 50 rolling out. So that's when I kind of started TikTok, but I only used it for like a few months because I felt that there was a lot of hatred because people were like, "Oh, you're spoofing and this and that." It's like, no, there's like actually hard players out there.
I was gonna ask what sort of content were you posting on TikTok, but by the sounds of that, you were posting maybe like some of your stats and your medals, and people
it was like
believing it. Yeah,
stats like shinies I caught during the community day, how fast I was catching, kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, that was before I knew about the AR fast catch.
I knew this would come up. I didn't put it in our little itinerary thing I had because I just knew it would come up anyway, because it's sort of a hot topic within that sort of section of the, well, I say it is, but I was going to say within that sort of section of like the community that's like hardcore like catch grinders, like notably like Pogo Oscar, who's been very, very vocal on all of Pokemon Go's tweets. Whenever any event comes out, it's always, can you bring back the old AR features? But we'll go into that in a sec. But in terms of the TikToks, like what sort of, if you don't mind me asking, what sort of like hate, or was it simply just people accusing you of spoofing? Like, were people actually sending you like full on hate?
Yeah, it was mostly spoofing. I got like messages and random hate messages over like other aspects of the internet too. So I kind of just was like, well, I'm done here. And so, I mean, I kind of got over that. I mean, not necessarily, but I've kind of gotten over that. And so I think it's a good opportunity for me to try it again. Yeah. Since like my name is a bit more out there, like people know me. So yeah.
Well, those sorts of people that were sorry, I was going to say those sorts of people that were accused, you don't. They don't really know you. Because if they did, they know you're not a spoofer. These are just people hating because they are jealous that they can't achieve the sort of numbers that you can. So honestly, I wouldn't take any notice of it. But it is easier said than done. Like sometimes these little comments do get to you. Like I posted a TikTok about chocolate bars, and one brother commented saying, "No, don't lie. We know you like them all, mate." And I'm like, "What was that necessary? I'm ranking chocolate bars." He's like, "You like all of them." I'm like, "Oh, fat joke, so funny." But Josh, what were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, it's funny. So I did the exact same thing. So obviously, when level 50 first came out, was during like peak like COVID times. So during that time, I was on holiday for like the 3-4 months of lockdown. So I picked up TikTok as well, and I was like, like I'm just gonna start doing like my journey to like level 50 and whatnot. And like some people will just see the way you play, and the first thing is, "Oh, you're cheating!" Like instantly.
It is a shame.
Yeah, instantly. I think the most notable funny one I had was I soloed a Genesect, and someone direct accused me of stealing Brandon Tam's video. It was like, "Oh, you stole his video, blah blah, you can't do this." And I'm like, dude, it's literally my video. Like
even I have a YouTube
you can literally see my name on it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah, but then I don't know. TikTok's such a weird place because it has such a good reach for for new audiences. The problem is a lot of them are younger and they don't understand the way the internet actually works. Yeah. And it's really annoying because most of them don't have a proper profile picture. They're just hiding behind a generic profile, and they just kind of hide behind it, right? And they just kind of fire random shit at you, to be honest. So so I completely get that. So we've got Joe, who is part of our admin team. He does our TikToks for us. Honestly, TikTok is a great platform if you can utilize it properly. The problem is it does take a good amount of time to do and get into.
Yeah, Joe is a legend.
Joe has been cooking.
He's a first-time legend, some might say.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, no. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting into TikTok. You know, if you have the time and whatnot. But yeah, so to carry, I don't know, to carry that on. So your streams right now, they're currently mainly PvP, right?
They're 50-50 PvP currently. But I do plan over the summer, like spring, summer, as summer's more rolling in. I do plan to do more like IRL streaming because it is warmer. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. What? So like, I don't know. I guess are you gonna really like invest into it, or are you just gonna, you're just gonna take a battery pack and your phone with you? You know.
It's more than just a battery pack. It's like 2 or 3 battery packs and like 3 or 4 phones.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if we were to compare it to say Joe Beats, for example, she has the whole camera rig,
whole shebang, yeah,
like
the
whole fucking shebang.
No, for me it's for what it is currently I'm learning. Well, kind of just someone told me about Stream Champs, and so I'm going to use that. It's like an aspect through.
Is that for iPhone?
iPhone.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I think it was Oscar who told me to use Stream Champs, and I don't know. I couldn't get on with it personally. No. To be fair, that'd be good because so if I remember correctly, you when you do go out to play, you do play for like quite extended periods of time, right? It's not like
anywhere from like an hour to like 6 hours, and then sometimes like on community days or like special events up to like 12 hours.
It's more than I play in a week.
Yeah.
Legit.
And then if it's like say fest, it's like from after I'm ready to just before bed. It's like all day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which streams do you like say you'd enjoy more? Do you enjoy the Go Battle League PvP streams, or do you enjoy like the raid hour streams you do with your I'm gonna say locals. I assume they are locals unless you travel out to these raid hours.
I definitely. So for me as a person, because I love having people around, but I also get like anxious around having like too many people.
I get that, yeah.
Sometimes. But, you have your moments and whatever. But generally, if it's like just saying that hour versus like, say, PvP, I definitely say, hanging out with your friends is much more enjoyable.
Yeah, true.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Have you ever considered having anyone in like voice chat, like when you do PvP? I guess then it will feel like a bit more
I actually
interactive.
I've actually had a few people. I've had Kevin Saladoris. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. Hopefully.
You can just say Kevin. I feel like the community only really knows one Kevin, so there's not another Kevin to be confused with.
And then I've had you. Actually, no, I haven't had you. I haven't had you yet.
Yeah.
We did screen share, but we didn't do.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I think that was just on the way to. That was on the way to Stockholm. I saw that you were in voice, so I was like, I need some time to kill. But
yeah,
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Josh, what were you saying? Sorry.
I forgot where I was at. Sorry, I'm just like processing like questions in my head. So I did a good amount of like. Literally, like in my head, it's just like the monkey with the symbols.
He's buffering IRL, yeah. He's loading.
I know. That's exactly it.
Yeah. I did stream PV for a little bit when I was grinding the Zygarde cells, just because it's fucking boring. I just wanted to talk to people while I was doing it, so I was like, like why not boot up the stream? At the time, we just released the podcast. I was like, cool, I can use it to like plug and kind of advertise a little bit more. Streaming is like thing is it is like a full-time job as well. Like as much as it's fun, it does feel like a
in terms of like the time investment. Like anyway. I know you said earlier, like it's not about the money, and I'm the same. Like I'm not like I'm in nowhere near a position where I could just be like, you know what, I'll sack off my actual full-time job and start. I enjoy it, but like I guess to not properly enjoy it, but to properly like make something of it, you do need to commit a certain amount of hours, like obviously within the stream itself and like beforehand, like prepping the streams and everything like that. So how much time would you say, like maybe in a day or in a week, you dedicate to sort of like this, we'll say venture, like how much time do you dedicate to like streaming and stuff, or is it like every now and then?
So like where basically how many like hours a week am I streaming, are you asking? Or
that and like and any like do you do any other like
planning?
Yeah.
Planning? Not really. I'm not really a planner. I'm just more get up and go. I mean, I don't get me wrong. When it comes to like say like Go Fests and stuff like that, I'm like the second the tickets come out, oh my god, I'm like on voice like doing like all sorts of plans. Like, well, I generally like I am kind of. I want to say I don't want to like put myself out there, but like I can say I feel like I'm more of the group like organizer kind of leader as far as getting everything ready.
Yep, I get that. But, I hear that.
But as far as like everything else, it's I feel it's like more of definitely like a group effort.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like it realistically depends. So Thomas is kind of like, I would say, notoriously bad at planning.
No, I'm not. No, stop it. That's not true. That's not true.
No. Hang on. Right.
Let me say something. Right. Actually true.
Yeah. Let me land. So Thomas is notoriously bad at planning until he decides he's not going to be, and then next thing you know, he's banging out spreadsheets, the lot. Right, and then, like the week after, he just fucks it off, just drops it, and then like a few weeks later, he's like, just drops it, just does it like when he feels like it.
I plan on my own terms. Is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like Thomas. On
anyone else's terms? Fuck
I'm like Thomas. Like you need structure. Like you need to structure it because it helps you structure your actual life as well as your hobby, right?
No, man, there's structure, man. It's improved. Sometimes it's hard when, like, especially like the last like few weeks, I've been like traveling in and out. Sometimes that disrupts a few things that I did want to do that I therefore can't do. But like, it feels like I've just been like in and out. You know what I'm saying? I'm rather than just being in one place and just tunnel vision, cracking on. I feel like I might just need a solid month of doing that before Go Fest, and then we're gravy. But we've spoken about Go Fest a lot. We all went to London. Karina, I vaguely remember you telling me at like one of I think it was a Sunday social about like an experience you had in London. Was it to do with your phone? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember you. I remember like speaking to you, and you said like something to do with either like a phone or like maybe like an interaction you had with someone. I can't actually remember. Like, but please help me if you know what I'm getting at.
I don't actually.
No?
No. I talked to a lot of people though, but I do remember you and like 60% of the people at the bar that day. Yeah. I don't really know. I'm sorry.
Wasn't it one of your friends' phones got nicked? Something like
that, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, one of my friends' phones. So if you're talking about like my friend's phone, so my friend's phone actually, so like when her and I guess had split off, she went and did her thing and then I did mine, and I guess I went to go hang out do one of the like meetups, and she went and hung out with one of her friends. I guess while she hung out with one of her friends, she had placed her phone down, like I guess right beside her, and then she turned around or something, and then the phone was gone, and she never was able to recover it or anything. Just it was gone. That's it.
Ouch. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Thankfully, she said thankfully because she had just gotten a new phone. Thankfully, it was one of her older ones. Like, was either her oldest or her second oldest. But still, that's not cool.
No, definitely not.
I vaguely remember I couldn't remember if it was you or like a friend, but that.
Yeah, it was one of my friends.
Yeah.
Well, the friend that I was kind of like staying with, because I had no one to stay with, and I did not plan. Man, yeah, London was definitely, overall like kind of a shocker, because I would have never expected to have like gone like ever, like not say ever, but it definitely was like kind of a dream come true, I guess. A little mini little, yeah.
Okay, so talk us through it. So so first of all, like your overall experience of London, and you say it was a shocker to be there, but like why is that?
Like a good shocker, bad shocker.
It was a great shocker. It was just like the help of the community, I guess I can say, is it's definitely out there. I can't really go into that too much, but yeah.
Okay.
Just say what you want to say. London's finest socials do it different.
Yeah,
that's what you want to say.
No, so I'm trying to think what that could possibly mean. That's all, without like outing it. Because obviously I saw you at every social.
Yes.
Obviously, it was great. You showed up and met people or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday when I took like you and a group of people on like a little tour, like of London.
Yes.
Was it Sunday?
When was this?
You were doing tours? It was. Yeah, I think it was Sunday, because Monday it was No, it was Monday, I think, because Sunday that was not our play day.
Yeah.
Or was because I got the date. I got all the dates for playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, citywide. So at least I did for. Wait, did I?
I actually
don't know. I know I for sure. Well, I had the park, and I know I had one of the city days for sure, but I don't really. My gosh, that's terrible. But yeah, it wasn't a play day. That's what I do know.
Yeah,
so it had to be a Monday.
Yeah. So talk us through being in London. Coming over from Canada, where you're from. How was it?
I enjoyed it. It definitely. So like the city part though was a little bit scary, just being on my own for the chunk that I was. Like, I don't know, it felt at least because I actually had never been outside of the Northern Americas. That was my first time going outside of Northern Americas. So yeah, it was a little bit scary, but I definitely did enjoy it. And I mean, if I say went with like a group, I could do it again for sure. I just wouldn't do it on my own. Right. At least I don't think.
Well, okay, so scary how? As in like, was it a bit of like was it like a bit of like a cultural sort of overload?
For me, there was a few times where I got like bumped into, and because I read different things and was like watching things, I kind of got, I guess, a little, maybe, I don't know, it's like anxious from the fact of like worrying, maybe extra worrying. I don't know. I mean, I could have been like paranoid about it, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah. So
yeah, there was a few. Sorry.
Yeah. So being from London and a born and bred Londoner, that is so common. Like, I think it's one of the things I love about living in London. So I've lived in London most of my life. I also lived out like in the country as well.
Yeah.
One of the things I really love about London is just like the pure like hustle and bustle. Like everyone has somewhere to be and somewhere they're going.
Mm-hmm. You like that?
Yeah, no, I do. No, I do. Do you know what it is? Like, I like it. Like, people walk with purpose, if that makes sense, right? Like, like people are going between jobs or offices, and and it's really funny because like most Londoners are quite fucking ignorant. So, like bumping into someone on the street is just like.
Normal bumping. It was a different kind of, because like, I mean, yeah, like you get your normal bump-ins, like it's like, oh, sorry, whatever. But no, like it definitely, there was a few times where it felt like that maybe they were trying to attempt something, but I don't know. Like, again, it's just.
I mean, I also think it depends where in London you are. If you're in like the center of London, it's
because I was like I hung mostly near like Big Ben, mostly, and like south, or is it south or basically the other side of the river of Big Ben area. I don't know if that's south or north or
that's south
east,
side,
west, whatever.
Most of those people either just be like commuting then or just doing touristy things. I can't imagine anyone would have like gone out of their way or like tried to bump you with some sort of like intent.
Yeah.
But if you were in other parts of London, then maybe you'll get the more intimidating sort of type.
Well, when we were in Chinatown area, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think I think it was Chinatown. So basically it was me or my friend. We placed our bags down at like an outside like restaurant kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And the waiter told us to move our bags because apparently the area is bad.
You know it's bad when the waiter's like, yeah, move your bags, you might get robbed.
Yeah.
I think it's the unfortunate reality of the world. And I think, especially being a female, I think people take advantage of that and just see it as like an easy target. I think it's an unfortunate reality. But then also, on the other side, I also think that could happen in every capital city in the world, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I also think London kind of gets a bad rep at times just because it is the capital city, and it's one of the biggest and most well-known cities in the world, right? So, I think people do come to London like with mainly like excitement to see all the history, but it's always kind of like in the back of your mind, right? To like just be like aware of your surroundings. I think it was the same when I went to Barcelona Safari Zone. Was everyone like all the locals there had really just like, you need to be careful, blah blah. Make sure you always carry your bag on your front and blah blah, whatever, and stuff like that. And it just kind of lives in the back of your head, right? Is part of the problem. But then, like I said, in my opinion, that could happen in any capital city in the world, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be right back. I apologize. My phone. I'm a really bad person when it comes to this, but my phone is almost dying.
Oh, you're good. All right. You're good.
Okay. But yeah, London's like a weird one. I don't live in London now, like as a lot of you probably will know, but I was born in London, but not like I wouldn't say it's like a bad part of London, but there were definitely nicer part of London to live in. Sometimes it feels like, I don't know, man. Like everyone thinks London. It's like, okay, is it like? Are we talking Brixton? Are we talking like actual Elephant and Castle? Like nice, not the pub. Like big up the Ellie Castle, but there's so many different like obviously areas, boroughs, district in London. It's like when you say London, I think Walthamstow because that's where I was born. Yeah. Like, and then other people might think, like obviously like Woolwich. Like, there are so many nice parts of London as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But like a lot of people, it often gets like misunderstood or misinterpreted or gets the bad rep that you were referring to. Like, and it's sort of like, it's just another pressure to have on the back of your mind. And it doesn't help when you have like people tweeting ahead of like EUIC and GoFest about like, oh, London, capital for like phone theft in Europe, and I'm like.
Okay, so
shut up.
So to be fair, first of all, that is actually false.
Yes, fake news.
It is actually Barcelona.
We won't rob you. Anyone in chat, Mr. Savage will not rob you.
It is actually Barcelona is the capital for phone theft.
For fuck's sake.
No, it's true. But yeah, it's funny. So I was one of the people that when they announced the park was Brixton Park, I was a bit like. Like I'm going there, I'm doing my park shit, and I'm getting the fuck out of there, type thing, and that, and that's from someone who lives here, just because, for me, like like people who live in London know what those kind of areas are about.
Yeah.
So I think I put it in the Telegram chat for London just to be like, kind of be careful around those areas. Kind of don't be out late at night type thing. Which realistically, probably made some people paranoid. But as far as the way I saw it was I was doing my bit for the community type thing.
You were giving them a heads up rather than them go there and then they start hearing things. It's like, listen, if you're outside Morley's too late and it's dark, you're going to get, like, people will start hearing stories, and I guess it's better to hear it from the horse's mouth. It's better to hear it from someone that's from the at least from the area, kind of, that knows what they're talking about. Like, they're not going to say it for no reason.
Yeah.
But like in terms of GoFest, like we'll speak a little bit more on it and then we'll move on to some other stuff. But like in terms of the actual like event itself, like how was that for you? Did you have like a morning slot, afternoon slot?
I had a very rainy slot.
Were you? I'm gonna guess you were Saturday afternoon, weren't you?
Morning.
Oh, morning. Yeah, afternoon was worse. Me and
Friday
Joe.
Morning.
No, it wasn't. It was not. It was not. Don't even go there. I don't want to hear it.
I'm gonna start scrapping. No, I'm joking. It was worse. Literally, as soon as it started, 15 minutes in, everyone had to like run to the little indoor like mirror bit, and then they had to keep moving us out because there was so many people in there. Nah, it was bad. It was so bad.
Well, yeah, it was windy. Like, it basically right from the moment I was heading out of like the place we were staying at, it was pouring already. Like, it was pouring. Like, it wasn't pouring. It was definitely raining, but it was pouring in the park. And like, it was so like, it wasn't like crazy windy, but it was definitely enough to disturb what I was doing. So I was like, oh. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I actually really liked their little Pokemon center. Like, as small as it was, I kind of liked the way they set it up. It definitely looked a bit more sturdy than the ones I've seen. Like, that's kind of more portable in like the US and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So to be fair, it makes me laugh. So that weekend, I feel like people who travelled in got to really experience like British weather. So I was Friday morning, and I preached Friday morning to everyone because of reasons. So Friday morning it was beautiful. It was sunny. It was great. Saturday it was like a mixture of like rain and sun, and then Sunday it was just a fucking washout, and it was fucking pouring down with rain. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, people who travelled over it are really getting like a taste of all the fucking elements. It makes me laugh, to be honest. But yeah, so to be fair, someone in the chat has brought something up that I actually did want to bring up, especially about England. So being from Canada, did you try any like British food while you were here, like
cuisines?
British food.
Cuisines.
I
don't know why I'm so excited.
I don't know. Like, we went to these random like little restaurants, and basically, I mean, I didn't really want to like make the say of wherever we went. I was just like, as long as it's not spicy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of thing. So
you'd be fine. You're in England. We're all fucking white as shit here. We don't do spicy food really. Like, it's not really a thing. Did you try?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's list them off. Fish and chips.
Yeah, go on.
No. I stayed personally. For me, I actually don't know what I have yet, but like I said, I haven't been diagnosed or whatever with anything in my, whether it's life or dietary needs. But I think I'm like hypoglycemic. Also, the gluten, like have like a gluten like intolerance kind of thing, and then also to do with milk or dairy products.
Lactose.
So, yeah. So I mean,
did you try?
Like, I can eat it, but like there is the odd time where I get repercussions. So
yeah, repercussions. Yeah. Did you try a full English breakfast while you were here?
I actually, so funny thing enough, I actually don't always eat breakfast when I'm, which is really bad, but yeah, so I did have like usually early lunches, but no crazy, like no breakfast really.
Beans
I mean,
on
if I
toast.
did, it was usually just like some fruit or like a random egg and like whatever sandwich.
I'm gonna cut to the chase here because I think chat are thinking the same thing. What did you eat during GoFest? Like, what was actually consumed? Because by the sounds of it, we weren't eating a whole lot, and it's a long weekend.
I actually don't remember, but I can verify with you for sure is that I had 2 full, very big meals each day.
Bro's gonna give it a diet plan.
What?
No, I was saying, like, what did you actually like? If you didn't have
beans on toast, you must have had beans on toast.
I actually don't remember. Really.
We need Americans to tell people that beans on toast is fucking brilliant.
I know I had like so I had lamb and rice. That I do know. It was like lamb rice with some like beans on the side. That was one thing. Another thing I had, because I was like, oh, because you know how like in every country there's different like different things at different McDonald's. So I was like, oh, why not try this?
You went Mackey's.
So I went to McDonald's.
So American.
You did go to McDonald's, yeah, just to confirm,
That's
to verify.
so American.
She went to Mackey's, guys. We've got that one down. So you had McDonald's.
I know, but your stuff is different. So like our little like ketchup things are not in like a little dipping container. It's like in a little packet that you squeeze out.
Sachets, yeah.
And then I forget what kind of bread your egg McMuffin whatever thing
English
was,
muffins.
but I was like
English muffins.
Oh, okay, English muffins. Yeah, I was just like, my goodness, this is weird, but I don't mind it. That's weird.
I understand why that could be. I understand why that could be confusing because a lot of people think muffins, the little blueberry chocolate, but it's also like the muffin, like the little round, you know. But yeah, so you had a Mackey's breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
So
yeah.
So you came to England
and lived off one Mackey's
fish and chips. You didn't try full English. No. You didn't try fish and chips. You didn't try beans on toast.
Did you have a John Smith's? Like, did we have a?
No. So like I had to be careful sometimes. Like anything like fried, I have to be careful about. Kind of thing, because it's curdles goes through the stomach, like, you know, white bread. Like rice is okay for some reason, but like white bread, sometimes potatoes or anything that goes through the system too fast, it's kind of
Well, I've just remembered, and I don't know how I remember, and you don't. So at the Sunday Social Munich Cricket Club, you got food there, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually
got. How do I remember that? How do I remember what you munched? To be fair, you munched it right in front of me. That's how I remember. I'm looking at it that looks nice, you know. I might get my order some still. But all right, you ate at Munich Cricket Club at least. So yeah, can confirm you ate for at least 2 days.
I had a burger one time and with a drink, and then the other time. It was some kind of wrap thing that I had. I don't remember. But yeah, I had that too.
Alright, fair enough. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from food and London. Josh is like,
no, I'm furious, man. Right, we need the Americans to tell the other Americans that English food is good, man.
We need to do something to make up for this. We need to make up for this somehow. We need to come back. We need to have like an event in London. We need to come back. We're taking you. Right, Mackey's breakfast, that's fine. You start as a means to go on. Or, actually, no, fuck that. Full English breakfast, then a Mackey's breakfast, right? And then lunch, you're having a meal deal. Then you can probably go Mackey's again, right? And then
Sunday dinner.
No, I actually had McDonald's once. Well, the whole time I was there. Only once. So, like, I was just wanting to try it. That's all.
Man, I'm fuming, man. I'm fuming.
I'm so upset. Right? That's why I tried to move it on, brother.
Yeah. Right, so Okay, so you must know Anthony, right? Never Dream.
The French
player, right?
Yeah.
So really, really good friend of mine. He came over for Global Go Fest and stayed for what was the Elite Raids? I think it was Hooper Elite Raids. And so I always organize the Elite Raids like within my community. The really cool thing that I really love about it is we make a full day of it. We all go out, we all get breakfast together, like all of us stay out, and then we go pub, whatever. And so Anthony, being from France, is like, I'm never trying beans on toast. That is fucking horrible. Never. I fucking got him to try it, and he fucking loved it. Loved it. And I'm like, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him.
Yes. Yeah, like, we need people to try it. We need people to try our shit, because it's not bad.
You can't knock it until you try. Everyone thinks like it's all unseasoned, it's all this and all that. Yes, you may be right, but some of it is just like it's like warm, filling. It's good.
What was the bread, if you don't mind me asking, or what is the bread?
It's toast.
Soft, yeah, it's just toast.
Oh, just toast? Okay. Because, if it was like... Because I know Never Dream, he loves baguettes. Like, loves them.
Loves what?
I was like, it must be a baguette.
What are we calling baguettes? Are we calling baguettes?
That's what he calls them.
Baguette.
I guess... I don't know if it was a baguette.
So... Oh, okay. So, sorry. So, while we're still on the topic of London, I do like to ask people this. So, you attended all the London's Finest socials throughout the weekend. So, me and Thomas, we both like to ask, like, people from other communities, so those socials, like, for you, like, how was the experience of them? So, because we've been told multiple times that the socials we host are, like the biggest and, like, best ones in terms of people, to interact and...
It definitely, so like out of all of the hosting, like I haven't been to like many hostings for like as far as like events, but the ones that when I do and have attended over like for like in-person events, I want to say it definitely was like up there for sure. But like to be hosted, okay, so it's definitely up there in the overall, but I want to say like for it to be hosted by like say one or two individuals, I definitely would say it's like that's the biggest for sure.
Fucking shout out London's Finest.
So what you're saying is London Finest do it different.
Do it different. That's the quote.
Yeah.
That's the quote we use.
We need you to say that just for like for a clip in it.
What?
We need you to say London's Finest do it different.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I'll tell a Delian. I'm gonna tell a Delian.
Yeah. Okay. But so that was Go Fest last year. Are you attending Go Fest this year, New York?
Yeah, I'm doing New York. I have been. So yeah, New York is for sure. There has been some thought into doing maybe Worlds.
Oh no, you spoke.
It's kind of like.
I remember you spoke about this.
Yeah. It's kind of a maybe, I guess, because it depends on money and everything else. But yeah, if it does work out, that'll be the other thing that I probably wind up doing.
Yeah. So me and Thomas are both doing Madrid. 26 days, by the way, because I'm counting every fucking day, man. I'm so excited.
26 days, shit.
Yeah, 26 days.
That's so soon, man.
Okay.
Man, I think it's like 45 for me. I think.
Yeah.
For New York.
Yeah.
40,
I'm
40.
I'm super excited. Super excited. Yeah. So you got all your plans for New York, but I assume accommodation, blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
Are you taking it casually, like seeing people, or like you grinding hard, trying to get the numbers in?
For what you talk about numbers in, are you talking about like geting people, or are you
like
talking
catches
about...
and like catches?
You're fully locked in on the event, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I actually so I'm fully locked in for the event. I'm going to be doing like the city, everything. But I was also thinking of doing my first like stream outside of Canada.
Oh,
nice.
Oh yeah, I'll see. We'll see how that goes. Probably like do maybe a little bit in park for like half an hour or something, and then well, depending, I can't remember how long the park experience is. So, but yeah, it's basically cut that into a third and do that, and then maybe do like a quarter of a day on, because we're just planning on doing bus grinding. So probably do that with like me and the crew and whatever.
The crew?
But yeah.
So you know who is the crew?
Crew. Okay. Who do I mention first? So someone's gonna be offended, I'm sure. Okay, so we got Pork Chop, Adonis, we got probably Judy Woo.
Shout out Judy, man. I fucking love Judy. I love her to bits.
Yeah.
She's a diamond.
Fixer, Posey, Yulei from the UK.
Yulei.
Yeah. 1 second. I actually can look. Just gotta check my. I feel like I name every.
Maybe there are some live watchers on our Twitch live stream that are potentially
yeah, it's possible. Well. So we've got also Merman, Cupcake, Soul Reaper, Spazzy, Whitney, and I'm not sure if I mentioned Pork Chop, but there's also a Pork Chop.
Pork Chop got 2 mentions ahead of like some people I'm seeing. Oh. So is there a Ben Butterworth by any chance?
Huh?
Is there Ben?
Yeah, she got the
Ben Butterworth is like big up Ben Butterworth, but he is very adamant that he has been forgotten. Ben Butterworth.
She doesn't know who that is. This is amazing.
I know who Butterworth is.
Yeah, but
I didn't know he was joining me.
Yeah,
or like joining the crew, I guess.
I've started something here. I'm sorry, Ben.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But basically, like, because I don't know if you've got the Twitch chat up, and anyone listening back on Spotify, watching back on YouTube, shout out you guys. We love you all. But yeah, no, there's just a few people in chat, obviously watching the episode. Brought a lot of your fans here, and I think some of them were either under the impression or thought that they were part of the quote-unquote crew. And,
I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, the initial ones that are kind of staying with me.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Because there's a lot of people, I mean, outside of that are attending, and that probably will wind up, like, meeting, but... Yeah.
I can't. Sorry.
There's what's her name? Fortune Cookie. Like, she's gonna be staying with us too.
So what? So have you guys just rented like a big fucking house or something like that?
So it depends. So it's usually me and maybe like a couple of others that. Oh boy, the chats.
You've just seen. She's arrived. Yeah. She's arrived, ladies and gentlemen. She's just realised. But no, do continue. Sorry. So you were saying.
So generally, like we kind of like as a group we go and like look at different options, and kind of go from there. Like sometimes, like one time it was Airbnb. The next time it was so actually I'll just say it. So like when we did Vegas, we did an Airbnb. There was I think 13 of us, and we all stayed in an Airbnb doing that. I think it was like a 20-minute drive from the park, which wasn't terrible because we basically had rented a larger van along with a smaller car for that. And then New York, we split it off into like different hotel rooms, all remaining in the same hotel building. and then just kind of like split it off into like groups of 3, 4, whatever, whoever was comfortable with whoever, you know. And then what was it? LA. We did a Airbnb. It was me and 9 others or 10 others.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, so you mentioned about like van, car. So are these big events like in America specifically? Do you normally like car grind, bus grind type thing?
I want to say it's 50-50. Because like during raids, we usually like car grind, and then other times, at least for me, I've usually walked or just like, you know, whatever on the streets. But yeah, it's kind of 50-50 and it depends.
Okay, so the only reason why I ask is, and I will stand by this, playing Pokemon Go in England is so different to playing Pokemon Go in America. And you know, like this is probably going to get taken like way out of context, but I do think that like English players are significantly better at the game in terms of the grinding ability, because car grinding in England is not a thing. Like it's so difficult to
hold up,
chat. Let her cook. Go on.
Oh, you hold up right there.
Oh, shit.
So I while I was in London, it was the last day. I wish I had known about it much sooner. There was like 2 buses that we took or whatever. We kind of did like a back and forth thing. It was like a long whatever. And I actually caught an insane amount. Like, if I remember correctly, it was like, because I was also like with friends, so I ended up catching a little bit less, because, you know, when you're chatting, you're getting distracted and whatever. But I want to say my averages for the last day was somewhere around like, I think it was around like 400 an hour. So, okay, I mean, I feel that's really great.
Okay, so
maybe I think it was actually more than that.
But that's on the bus.
But yeah,
a bus is okay, because at least in London and most places, the bus grind
it's different.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. It's doable. But in a car in the UK, it's not happening.
Yeah,
it's literally not happening.
Right, okay, so I'm not saying you can't do it, but the vast majority of players don't do it. Like everyone plays on the foot, basically, right? Whereas I feel I feel like within America, I really don't know any players who predominantly play on foot in terms of like a big scale type thing. I'm not talking about like you, for example, as an individual. If you walk around or whatever, most people that I know, do comm days in cars for like 3 hours, right? Whereas in England, I genuinely don't know anyone that does that at all.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like, for me, I do prefer car grinds, but at the same time, I don't like sitting for long periods of time. I get pretty antsy. I mean, like, technically, I'm sure everyone's kind of already noticed the little random tidgets and stuff. But yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I don't know where I was going. Because squirrel.
Yeah. So okay. So when I say I think English players are better in terms of that, I mean in terms of, so anyone can sit in a car for X amount of time and catch, but when you're walking everywhere, it's so fucking different, right? It's so different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think so. I'm not going to name drop, bless her, because she's a sweetheart. One of the Americans who came to England, who's used to car grinding all the time, was like, fucking hell, this is like a shock. The system, like, to be walking everywhere, be aware of, people on the,
Is better the right word for it then?
Different.
If it's something that you're kind of like, forced to do or used to doing, is it just a difference in play style? Does that necessarily? I get what you're saying. Like it's more effort to walk around than sit in the car.
Yeah.
Because it's not possible.
It is and it isn't. So depending on the person that you're playing with in car, and how, I guess, advanced they are in their play style, it also depends. Because like I've car grinded before with people, and I've maybe only caught like 200 in an hour, whereas I've played with more efficient people and I've caught in like as high as 550 in an hour. So, and I mean, I've heard of even people even being able to achieve even more. So it's like, wait, is there better efficiency? So like, I mean,
I feel like there always is with these types of things, and I think a lot of people are saying it in the live chat now. So just echo some of their thoughts. I feel like it depends on the location, like 100%. Like some people are very blessed with the spawns that they have.
Location and player. Location and player.
Okay,
not just location.
Location first, though, yeah.
Yeah, but then so like
it's both. It's really both because
so like for me, so what I play is kind of like suburb London. During a com day, I can do 1,600 catches in 3 hours on foot, easy, like easy.
Sorry, I zoned out. Sorry.
Yeah. So for me, in the town I play on like suburbs of London, I can do 1,600 catches on a com day, like easy, and that's like on foot.
Yeah.
Right. So like walking everywhere, and like to me, that's like an average day. But as I said, car grinding for me, especially in London, it's not possible. Like you can't do it. It's too stop-start. There's nowhere to pull over. Whereas
you don't. The point is you do not pull over.
It links back to the hustle and bustle we were saying earlier. There's just so much going on. Everyone like trying to get to work, like driving.
Yeah.
There's too much going on to be able to like
so
go around and make a nice little route and make a day of it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's
definitely. Yeah, I think the best example is especially car versus on foot is grinding raids. In America, you can grind raids super efficiently in a car, but in England, it's not possible. It's so hard to do because especially in America, you can just pull over fucking anywhere basically. Like it doesn't fucking matter. You can pull over basically anywhere. In England, it's so different. Like you can't fucking do that. It's so fucking hard to do. So like. Next Sunday, one of my locals is going to drive us around Central. He's only driving us around Central because it's a bank holiday Monday.
Which raid
Central
day
London
is it next
will be
Sunday?
fucking empty. Huh?
Which raid day is that? I'm guessing it's for a raid day.
No. It's it's the Ultra Beast, the ones that are split by the hemispheres.
Oh
East and West.
But you're making a raid day of it.
Yeah. So the hemisphere runs via the Greenwich Mean Time line, which is like
very close
3 miles away.
Very close to Woolwich,
yeah. So it's like 3 miles away from me. So one side of the line I can get stacker. The other one I can get like I don't know the name. I think it's the clown looking fucker, right?
The clown looking fucker, yeah. Can we get a name check?
Anyway, I can fucking describe it.
The clown looking fucker, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the Ultra Beast name is. So like it is super different to be able to car grind in America, just because I've done it as well in a car.
So what you're saying is you should be driving on the other side of the road.
Yes, technically yes. No, to be fair, I would definitely agree with it. The way we drive is super bad.
It's totally wrong.
It is because it makes no fucking sense. That's all. So for me, EU is on top for foot grinding. I feel like the Americans kind of struggle with it a bit more, especially the park experience. And then after the park, you know, they just pile into fucking vans and just drive around for the next 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like loads of people just walking around. Yeah, so yeah, so I must admit I was gonna do New York Go Fest, but I don't know. New York is just not somewhere that I want to go. It's just not on my list of places that I want to visit.
It's just like London,
I feel,
isn't it?
actually, like, if you want to compare, so I haven't really been to too many cities. Like, well, I've been to Seattle, so Chicago, Seattle. Oh crap! Why am I mind blank? Montreal, Vegas, then London. I think I'm forgetting one. I think. But yeah, anyways, like out of all of them, I feel that crap. Brain. I feel that I don't know. I don't know where I was going. I don't know where I was. Oh crap!
Wait, so all of those events, like that's what I think.
Yeah.
So like, in terms of like just overall experience, event itself, like travel, like which one was
playability?
Which playability? That's it. Yeah, which one would you say just like your standout if someone was to ask you?
Like the most like.
Yeah, what's the one that like maybe has a special
the city
place?
Overall?
Yeah.
I loved. So I don't know like how Chicago is like as an overall city, but I loved the vibe of it. Like it had a mix of new and old, like just like put together in one. And like the fact for me, like I'm not huge on trains and like old buildings, but just the way everything was put together and it all just like I loved it. I loved the way it all looked.
So I did Chicago 2019 and it was fucking great. Loved it. I've been to Chicago like 8 times and love it there. It's great. Great city.
Yeah.
So I was there in 2019 on the day where they called it off like halfway through because there was the storm warning.
Yeah, was that your day?
Yeah.
I was there, but it wasn't my day. I had the day before. My friend. Yeah.
So to be fair, like that whole weekend was crazy for me. So I was dating a girl from just outside of Chicago. So, yeah, I did Go Fest. I think I was level 38. I wasn't even level 40 when I went.
You showed me a screenshot of your thing. You was a noob, man. Bro,
I was,
and he just sent it to Chicago.
Yeah, it was crazy to go. So I flew in.
I think we had like 250,000 catches back then.
Yeah.
Maybe 300,000.
Yeah, no, I was.
I'd have to check my my charts, but
I was nowhere near. But yeah, so I flew in Friday, played on the Saturday, and flew home to London Sunday. It was a fucking long weekend. It was a long weekend, and like I said, I was like level 36 or 38. So like even going there was like, what the fuck am I doing here? like who the fuck does that? Do you know what I mean? It was
I'm sorry. I have to reply to Merman. He said New York was the best for grinding. Yes, it was. It was the best. But we were talking about overall city, not Pokemon. Overall city.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. So So I like I said, I was going to do New York this year. I had a place that I could have stayed with a friend who lives there, a big Pogo player. I don't know, like New York just doesn't appeal to me. Like to me, New York is London in America, and I already live in London.
It just ends with an American accent. That's all it is, man.
So like I'm kind of like I don't know. I feel like if I was going to go to New York, it would have to be for like Christmas type thing or something like that. I feel like I couldn't. Yeah, I feel like I couldn't make the journey for Pokemon for me personally.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but then to be fair though, so obviously like so you live in Canada, so so as far as I'm aware, just kind of being like I don't know, kind of being ignorant about it. I guess I always think of Canada as very like remote, very like everyone kind of knows each other, tight knit sort of community. type thing. So going to these big city events, like what's the main sort of like standout differences that you pick up on, like when you go and attend them?
Sorry, what's the question about Canada?
So for me, like whenever I think of Canada, I always think of like not really big cities, like and like a lot of like small little towns where kind of like everyone knows each other, everyone's really polite to each other, like so when you go to these events in like big cities, like is there anything that like stands out to you in like terms of like cultural differences?
Well, okay, so I lived in the States for 16 years. That's a whole other long story. But because I lived both in the States and in Canada, I definitely feel that the US has much, much more crimes and sort of stuff. Behavior, I don't know, but like for me personally, I grew up around like someone who was racist. And so, when people that are who they are, they attract more people like them. So for me, it was kind of like, I kind of felt that, at least for me, it was like a lot of racism and stuff. Whereas here it feels like there's less, but then again, it's, around based on who you're with at the moment and situation.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Which sucks, to be fair. Like, it's kind of one of the like, I guess it's like a recurring thing that we talk about on this podcast. Is it takes more effort to be a cunt than it does to be a good person. So like, why the fuck would you behave like that? There's no need for it, really. Times have moved on. It's not. There's definitely no need for it. So you got New York coming up. I'm just thinking about Safari Zone. Where was the Safari Zone last year for you guys? So we had Barcelona last year.
There was a Safari Zone? I wasn't aware of it. If it was in the States, I was not.
It was in Mexico City, right?
Mexico City, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I actually thought about doing that, but that city, I heard so much bad stuff about it that I just didn't go.
Right. So I don't know. I've kind of picked this up. So would you say that like when these events are announced, you kind of look into a lot of that kind of stuff before making your decision?
Yeah, I make sure that it's semi-safe for the most part. Yeah, like safety is like a huge for sure about when I do go. The second thing is like how close is it, and then because the cost of flights and all that sort of stuff, and then after basically all of that, it's like, okay, who's going?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so you say about the cost. So to be fair, this is something I'm quite interested in because I find it mind blowing. So you don't have to answer if you don't want, but so how much were your flights to London and back?
The flight to London, it was around 1,500 CAD.
Okay, so hang on, let me get the old
calculators
Google
out. Calculators out.
And then for, I think it was 4 days that I was there. It was either 4 or 5. It was around. It ended up being around like just between flights and stay. It ended up being around 2,200 ish.
Okay.
Canadian.
Bear with while the boys do calculations.
Okay, so that's about £1,300 total. So how does that compare to New York, for example, like flights, accommodation?
So for this flight, for me going to New York, the flights currently was around, I think it was 480 or 490 Canadian. And then the like hotel stay, it kind of varied because of like people and situations and stuff. But for the average for everyone, I think was, this is USD, was around like 500-600.
Okay.
So I think 500-600. So 500 is like 700-ish. So maybe like, I think the total between the trip was 1,500.
Okay. So the only reason why I ask is because I find it really interesting.
Yeah.
So flying around Europe is ridiculously cheap. Like, it's crazy how cheap you get around Europe.
I would never, all these numbers, CAD, USD, well, I would never spend that much money on a. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't spend that much money. I'm thinking, listen, right, if me and Joe can slum a bunk bed, which is what we're doing in Madrid, for whatever, like £56, right, I don't know what that is in CAD or any of you guys' local currencies, but it's next to nothing. If I can get there for as cheap as possible and have more money to spend there on like food, travel, beer, then it's like, that's a win for me. And maybe this is why I probably don't grind these events that hard when I'm actually there, because I'm like, it's cost me like cheaper to get to Madrid than it has to probably go to like London, like, and I live in the UK.
Well, the cheapest trip that I've been on was LA for sure. It was for my flight. How cheap is cheap? Okay, so we stayed with there was 10 or 11 of us, and so we all stayed in Airbnb. I think per person it was around 300 CAD, and then there's 300 or 400 CAD. I don't know the exact, can't remember the exact number. And then my flight was just under 400.
Right. So yeah,
so that's like That's like $700. 700, maybe $800 Canadian.
So the thing is, I always find it interesting. So when I first went to America, I flew to Indianapolis. So I had to fly to Chicago and then to Indy. And the first thing I thought was, fuck me, like, flying in between America is fucking expensive. It's so crazy.
This is why these lots of like the regionals and stuff, they all car share. They all car share so they can drive.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So when I flew to America and back for GoFest, I've just done the conversion. So my flights to London, my flights from London to Chicago and back were $475 Canadian dollars, and I'm like, that is fucking cheap, super fucking cheap.
Where were you flying to?
I was flying to O'Hare, Chicago.
From London?
Yeah.
That is insanely cheap.
Yeah, like
Jesus.
insane.
How was he wrangled that?
Yeah, like ridiculously cheap. And so when I flew to Indianapolis, I got my flights to O'Hare and then had to change. Like my flight from Chicago to Indianapolis was like nearly as much as my flight from London to Chicago, and I'm like, okay, so Thomas, so for reference, right? So from London to Chicago is like 8.5 hours, right?
Okay. Yep.
Chicago to Indianapolis is like an hour and a half tops, and it was nearly the same fucking price. And I'm like, it's so fucking expensive.
But I'd walk.
So like,
I don't care. I'd
walk. Yeah,
lost your mind. I'd get a boat, man. Are you dumb? Like,
it's crazy.
That's not happening.
Yeah, but then so like for us, like especially being in Europe, like getting to these events is so easy.
Privileged.
Yeah,
I think that I'm going to Madrid with my partner and her daughter. So for 3 of us, return flights to Madrid, including like seat selection, was hang on, let me do the conversion. Hang on, I feel like I'm in like an office.
Mine's crunching numbers.
For 3 of us, return was 745 Canadian dollars for 3 people.
Bargain.
To go there and back. And it's
all together?
Yeah.
For the family.
Yeah, for 3 of us, right? It's crazy how expensive traveling like within America is. I've used the trains a lot as well. Amtrak in America. Dude, going by train is like nearly as expensive as fucking flying. It's so fucking crazy. It's so backwards.
In Canada, it's in Canada. So like, I was looking at like a train ride to like Toronto. It was an extra like $200 more per way than going on a plane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's so backwards. So bad.
Which was almost double. Almost. Not quite double, but almost. It was like oh my God.
That just feels wrong. Like, I wouldn't be, I just feel like I'm being robbed, like, if I'd pay that. Like,
well, and the thing is, Thomas, trains in America are very fucking sketchy. Like, you get some characters on those trains.
So you've experienced. Welcome to Canada and America.
Yeah, so
is it like the Bakerloo line in London? Like, you know, you get
no, dude. It's fucking sketchy. So the girl that I was dating lived like 3 hours south of Chicago.
Yeah.
So we always used to get the train, and dude, like getting on these fucking trains. So not only were they expensive, but like you kind of get on them and you have to be like very aware of what's going on.
Whereas on like underground and whatnot, or everyone does. Like, Karina, I don't know if you took like TFL and whatnot, like the London Underground system. Yeah, the tube while you were in London for Go Fest. But pretty much everyone's on the train. Get on the train. All you really do, if you're not looking at your phone, you're looking up at the stops. You ain't got to make eye contact with anyone. You know exactly where you're going. You know how many stops because you've planned it out in your head. But for whatever reason, you're looking up at the map, tube map anyway, just so you ain't got to look at anyone. That is basically it. Like, everyone's in complete silence. If anyone's like making noise on trains, I don't know, they're probably like a YouTuber or an influencer, you know, trying to go viral. They're doing a TikTok or something. Like, everyone's just quiet on trains. Like, the trains are not active. So continue, Josh. Which train was this? This was when you were in Chicago.
Yeah.
You can't. What about you said it? You said that was for London, right?
Yeah. So just like that's the underground. So obviously there's trains that like go over.
But what about the time with like Brandon Tan and everyone was yelling and everything?
That's different.
No.
That's different.
It was different. And to be fair, I'm glad you brought that up because that for me is like a core memory.
He loves it.
So funny.
Set him up. You know that you mentioned that he's gassed.
You set me up. So like,
Josh saved Go Fest. That's what I heard.
Dude, I basically did. So for anyone who's unaware, like listening back Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever. Our social event on the Saturday went to shit. We got fucked over by the venue big time, and it was so funny. So there was like
200 of us, or three. Yeah, for sure, felt like 200. I want to say 200.
It was so funny. So the event like place fucked us over. So we had to like think quick time. So I managed to get a venue that would take us like last minute, which is fucking crazy. So I'd gone outside to explain to people in the queue like what was going on, and like it's so funny. So Brandon Tan had just like handed me like a flag, and I was just like waving this fucking flag around, like, "Come on, people, we're going this way." And it was like a cult or some shit. It was fucking ridiculous. It was so funny.
Bro was organising a school trip. Also, Josh, your camera's gone. I don't know why, but he was literally like he was hoarding. Like, I guess like for your point, Karina, like the whole reason that like it was, I guess, because you had a load of people from a different country, they didn't know what was going on. Like, you're gonna have to be like, right, like get over here, like, 'cause otherwise people were gonna get lost in a foreign land of like not knowing where they were going. So they needed MrAvalanche's guidance and the BT 91 flag.
It was so funny.
Right, Josh, I'll let you sort out. Oh, you good? He's back, chat. In his big hero moment, the camera was just like, nah.
I'm really glad you brought that up. It was so funny. I've still got the flag somewhere as well because it was so funny. It was so funny.
You'd be able to. I'm gonna make you get it. Like, you know where it is. Like, you have. How did you rob the flag?
No. Okay. So right. So. You know, to kind of put it into like an image, you got to imagine, right? We've been kicked out of this venue. No one else can get in, right? And you know, we needed to get all these fucking people literally from one side of the river to the other. and the only way to get there is by the train, right? And so I'd explained to Brandon what was going on because he was asking what's happening. And he's like, "Oh, dude, like here, like take this flag and you can use it to like fucking flag people down."
Yeah, it was Brandon Tan with one group of people on one train, and then it was you guys on another group with another group on the other end of the train because we filled up like 2 or 3 trainfuls.
Meanwhile, Thomas was at the venue already getting the beers in because I made the call to MrAvalanche. He was like, "Yeah, it's not happening at the finery." So I'm like, "Yep, I'm on the train already. We're going back the other way."
Okay, so to be fair, so sorry to kind of go off topic. So Thomas,
go for it.
So how funny is this? So my partner works in a bar, in another bar, and so she had a customer literally this week, right?
Okay.
She messaged me, was like, "There's someone in here," and I recognized them, and I don't know where from. Right, so she was talking, whatever. It was the Donny who was managing the finery who fucked us over, right? Was in this fucking bar that my partner works at, and she was just like I recognize you from somewhere, and he's like, yeah. So I manage a bar in central London. She was like, "Which one?" He was like, "Oh, the finery." And she was like, "So it was you that fucked us over."
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Bullet.
Oh, and I was like, "That's so funny, man. So funny."
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. So let's move on. So
fucking Green Kings. I can say that I work for the brewery.
Yeah.
But fucking pricks.
Okay. So I guess to kind of move away from Pokemon, there are some things I want to talk about. So that we like to do, we have guests on where we look for Sodia and ask more context on.
I think you're cutting out.
I thought it was me. Yeah, Josh is doing his little Wale impression. But
okay,
you good?
Okay, am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Yeah. So we have a thing that we like to do. Oh, I can see my internet fucking dropping out. Behave. So we have this thing that we like to do where we ask our guests for more context on posts on social media. So, we kind of did like a little deep dive on the Twitter profile for you. And, we were kind of hoping we could get some more context on a few posts. I can see you already look concerned.
So for context, we had Brown Baller on, and we went through some of his tweets, and he often posts videos of stuff of him I don't know, saying the United Kingdom are not in Europe because they left the EU and stuff like that. And then there was other ones. There was ice cream and all other stuff. And then we did it with who else did we do it with? There was another. We've done it with quite a few people.
Yeah, we did it with Kaito as well.
Yes, that was our first episode. Yes.
All right, so we don't have to pull the tweet up, per se.
Good, because I can't be asked. I can't be asked to pull the browser sources up.
All right, so the first one we have up here has a picture attachment, and the caption is "I'm a slave for you, Niantic." So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, we definitely need some kind of some context on that, because that's pretty out there.
That's not something you just tweet on a whim, yeah.
Oh man, so that one was so what it was is there was some beefy stuff going on, and that was me just trying to lighten up the situation regarding, I guess, kind of joke about it more so because everyone was being also serious. I mean, I did get the aspect of everything that was going on, and it definitely was kind of uncalled for, but I guess that was me just kind of lightening up the situation.
When you say beefy stuff, do you mean just the general community, either Pokemon Twitter community or whatever, things were just not in a great place in terms of the community?
Yeah, there was a lot of drama and stuff. A lot of drama and stuff going on. So yeah, that was me just being more. It was more of a play on whatever on the situation.
Okay.
Without
Sorry,
like being mean.
I'm just looking at Josh because he was the one that asked the question and the context. I'm just kind of like gauging his facial expression to see whether he's satisfied with said answer.
No. So look, I'm going to ask because the people want to hear, right? So obviously, that there was the handcuffs, right? So like what the fuck is the story with those? What you just have those just chilling out, or like?
I do have them. Yeah,
she works in law enforcement, man.
They are. I don't know if they're real. Like they are metal, like 100%. They have the little key and everything, but yeah, I just have them.
You just have them. And you're like, yeah. Do you know what? That'll make a fucking great fucking post. Okay,
it did because we're talking about it still. Like it's out there. Some of those those tweets, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people tweet those, and it's like you don't know what the general reaction's gonna be. Whether people are gonna laugh, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with?" Like you don't know. Like sometimes those are like the ones where you're just like, you know what? Part of me is telling me not to tweet this, but another part of me is like, go on then, just send it anyway. Like, what have you really got to lose? Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So to be fair, so knowing how the internet is and how people kind of overstep the boundaries.
Yeah.
Like so, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I bet there is going to be some fucking weirdos that comment under this shit.
Always.
I actually don't. I don't remember looking back at like what they had said or whatever. But I mean, everyone that I knew exactly what it was about because we were. I think we were on Voice that night.
They had the context that made it like okay, they saw it for what it was. Where if no one if you don't have the context, they see girl handcuffs, Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I don't know. I guess kind of delving deep to that. Have you had any like weirdos message you on Twitter? Like
not related to the tweet, but just like in general, I guess.
Oh, related to the tweet? No. Well, yes and no. Actually, now that I think about it, there have, but really that wasn't like really anything. But yeah, like I mean, I have had for sure weirdos asking for certain things and whatever. But overall.
So we've had this with Kitty Devro, Obi, Mamita, blah blah. It's something we do ask about because we do like to bring light to it and kind of spread awareness. So
in a good way, not in like a shaming way, because it's nothing to be ashamed because you don't ask for it. You don't ask for this attention.
No, not at all.
No, it's always finds its way.
Yeah. So what's one of the more kind of like outlandish sort of messages you've got that were like unsolicited?
The weirdest one. Okay, so it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm. It's always the birthdays or Christmas, isn't it? Like they're always.
It's always the birthdays.
Always the birthdays.
Always the birthdays.
Happy birthday! Yeah, fuck off. We know what that decoration is. Happy birthday.
Because I didn't delete it. I just took like a screen. Like, I'd have to. I don't. Oh, I wish I was prepared for that. Like,
you don't have to put it up like word for word or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
you remember
but basically they were like. It kind of like totally kind of like disgusted me. People, it's either people you may know or spam. I have to scroll down all the way to the bottom.
The one with Kitty's example. Why should you look for that? Like for anyone that missed the Kitty Deborah episode, like her example was like someone would like this is people would come in her live chat. They'll just say, "Oh yeah, I want to like shit on you" and like stuff like that. Yeah, it's like, bro. Read the room.
Yeah, man. I think it's gone. Cause I was like, I want to say, oh wait, that's 2017, 20.
Damn, we scrolling, we delving.
Yeah, no, I think it's gone. But basically they were referring to, them being a presence and basically, well, yeah, they're being a present and that maybe I should open it for them.
Some shit happy birthday Riz. Fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah,
Some of them are like,
yeah.
I guess, like, I don't want to speak for you and on any women's experiences because that's not what I'm about. But in general, I have seen like screenshots because they're the ones that go viral where like women have these like DMs on Twitter and stuff, and they're funny, and they see the like the humor and the light side of it. It's like, listen, we know nothing's gonna happen. He's just trying to shoot his shot. He's not being creepy. It's jokes in it. But if man is saying, "Open me up like a fucking birthday present, happy birthday," hold that. He needs. Where's his parents? Like, someone needs to tell him, like, that is not how you talk to women. Like, treat them with respect.
Yeah. So
the other one was involving like, because they it's like, because you're in communities, like when you're in communities, right? People know or figure out what you like and all that sort of stuff. So they were like mentioning how that maybe I can dress up as Pikachu, and they started talking about all this, like, you know,
Pikachu kinks.
Yeah.
Pikachu kinks, fair.
So
guys,
just random weirdos like this. It's not even like we've like chatted before or anything. It's just out of the blue, and then all of a sudden you see like 5 days, 20 days later, oh, they deleted themselves. It's like, oh, thank you.
So guys, so you know, for anyone listening to this, you know, this is a message to everyone. Don't be a fucking weirdo, all right? Like, you know, you are entitled to like what you like, but it doesn't mean you can just fucking force it upon people.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not cool. It's not clever, and I promise you now, no one will ever fucking like you for it. I promise you now. It's
I had a feeling you were gonna say that. It just gonna be like, this is why Mum doesn't fucking love you.
Just don't fucking do it. Like, don't fucking do it. Do not see a random girl on the internet and be like, oh, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show her my cock. Like, I promise you, right? I promise you, it is never gonna work. It is not.
I've gotten those too. I've gotten those too, just out of the blue. Like, I'm serious.
What are conversations? Because think about it, right? Let's in the modern age, right? Internet dating.
Or they're like, oh, can I get a dick reading, please? It's like, oh, no, thank you.
No, wrong platform. That's what I'm saying. Like modern age, yeah. We're internet dating. You've got Tinder, Bumble, all of that. Apparently on Bumble, like the fucking woman doesn't have to message first now, or so the man doesn't have to message first. Like, they are really like opening up internet. Don't ask how I know that. It was on Twitter, right? Before any of you start speculating. But anyway, like, obviously modern age, internet dating, you know, like the world is very, very like, I'm trying to think where I'm going with this. I've lost it. 1 sec. I'll catch it. Yeah. So in the modern era, everything, like, technology is everywhere, right? So we're all trying to, you know, mate in all ways possible. Think about if you did what you did on like phones and text in real life, right? Equivalent, like, you know, I'm talking to someone, I was fucking, you know, I flash it, send it, Would you do that in real life? Would you see a pretty girl at a bar or anyone at a bar and just expose yourself? Whip your dick out at a bar, like, you wouldn't. Like, why would you?
No, it's fucked. Yeah, just don't do it. Don't fucking do it, people, all right? Don't be fucking weird, all right? Don't be fucking weird, all right?
No, so, okay. You want to hear a story?
Yes, I do, but I'm scared where it's going to go, but I want to hear it at the same time.
So I was at, I actually don't know how much I can say. Is it safe?
This is a safe space. There is no judgment here. There is no judgment here whatsoever. If anyone judges in chat, you're banned.
So, there was this. So I was at a bus station. It was crazy early in the morning. It was because I was working for like construction and stuff. So it wasn't quite winter, but it definitely was like in the below 0 like Celsius, right? Anyways, I was in the little like bus station waiting area, like the covered area. This person comes like beside me, and then I hear this, then like, you know, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. And then all of a sudden I hear ting, 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 ting.
Oh no.
And I look over and I'm like, oh my God. I'm sure you get the point.
What, he was just fucking whacking one out in the bus station? Bro, what the fuck, man? That is crazy. Okay, so to be fair, that might take top spot of like weird.
Bro's waiting for his bus. He's like, I need to bus too. Are you mad? What's wrong with you?
Did you just say I'm catching a bus too?
Yeah, man. He's that's what man's. Oh no. Oh,
so okay,
why?
but then so how the fuck did you react to that? Like
I looked over and I realized, and then I looked back to where the direction I originally was looking, and I was just like, oh my god, it's gross. And I just, because what it is you can't really exit. I was kind of stuck in that one corner because it's only a two maybe 4 person like area, and because of where he was standing and how close he was to me, I couldn't really move, so I just pretended he didn't exist.
That's probably the safest play. Yeah. Jesus, man.
That's crazy.
Fair play.
That is...
I mean, when I say fair play, I'm like, you know what? I was not expecting.
I thought you meant fair play to him. I'm like, whoa, easy.
Fuck no. He can fuck off. No, hell no. He is dusted wherever he is now.
Don't be fucking weird, man. Like, what?
Someone had mentioned in the chat he didn't look homeless.
He should be homeless. Fuck him, man. Kick him out. Like, he's probably got wife and kids or something. Like, he's man. Nuts. Yeah. Crazy behaviour. That is not normal. Chat. Anyone listening back? Not normal. What is my best mate? I'm sorry, I don't usually nibble on chat. I'll punch you up. But don't do that, man.
No, that is fucked. Yeah, don't do that. Okay, right. Let's swiftly move on because I have so many questions that I don't want to ask. So the next one.
Or do want to ask?
I mean, there's much more stories. There's much more weird stories.
Really? What? Like as weird or like?
Like what just happened? Like what I just told you.
Yeah. What? There's more?
There's other little stories, yes.
What the fuck is going on in Canada? What? Everyone's just whacking one out at a bus station.
Mate, the bus is bare steady as well. You lot are paying like 200 CAD like to get on a bus, and you've got man beating one out at the bus stop. Like that's a madness. That's why it's so expensive, man. That's crazy.
Okay.
So that one was definitely the weirdest. The second one I want to say was the weirdest. So I sat down in a bus because I don't drive and all that. But so yeah, anyways, I sat down in a bus and this guy came down and sat beside me, right? And then he asked me like a couple questions. I can't remember.
I'm going to interject quick because I feel like this is important. Like for me personally, were there other seats available on the bus?
Yeah, there definitely was.
So he chose to sit next to you.
Yes.
Okay, carry on. That's important for me. I don't know about anyone else, but continue.
Yeah. So yeah, and he kind of looked pretty drunk. Like he wasn't totally like wasted, but he definitely looked a bit tipsy.
Okay.
And so yeah, he sat down beside me, asked me a couple questions, and then all of a sudden he because I think I was like looking the other way, or I was like, I think I was focused on the game or something, and then he grabbed my face and then kissed me on the cheek.
Okay.
Like really obnoxiously,
just forced it. Yeah, obviously forced it, but
forced it, yeah.
Okay.
So.
And because I'm not a person to react out. I basically, after he did that, I gathered my stuff and I went to the front of the bus and I sat there.
That was a very mature, when I say mature way of handling it, what I mean is I know women that would have just packed him in. They would have you don't seem that way inclined, and it's not a flaw on your part. That's horrible. That's a horrible experience. That is disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not one that's gonna I'm not one to cause aggression or I kind of, for me personally, I feel like I'd rather have someone else do that for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If they are, but yeah.
That's what you say.
For me, I do what I feel is would be the safe option.
Just don't be fucking weird, man. Honestly, it makes me really fucking sad to hear that kind of shit because I personally can't understand the kind of mindset that you would have to be in to think that is okay.
Yeah, you wake up, you have breakfast, brush your teeth, and think, you know what? I'm gonna sexually assault someone on a bus. Yeah,
like
madness.
Like, yeah, like that's fucked. Like, just don't be a cunt. Just don't be a cunt. Like, there is no fucking reason to it. Like no one is gonna think you're cool. It's you know you're not gonna meet your fucking wife behaving like that. You're gonna end up in a fucking jail cell.
You ain't gonna have a wife. Like no, self-respecting woman or man or like whatever. No one is gonna want you if you're doing that. Like you don't deserve to be. You won't deserve to be a parent. Like weird. You deserve nothing.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. That is weird. But I can safely say that if I ever go to Canada, I'm never getting on a fucking bus.
So I'm walking everywhere. I can't afford it. I walk everywhere.
Yeah, I'm walking everywhere. Like I don't give a shit how far away it is. Like I ain't getting on no fucking damn bus. Like absolutely not.
In the UK, we have a thing like so there's a show called The In-Betweeners, and there's like a cultural reference that came from that called bus wankers. You man actually have that. Like that's crazy. I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, like genuinely, I'm actually like speechless. Like, I can't.
Did you take it further? Like, did you like? I know you said that in a moment you went and sat at the front of the bus and moved away from him to keep your distance. But did you tell like any family, any friends, like local authorities, anything? Like, did you escalate it because people shouldn't be allowed to get away with that shit?
I did tell the bus. The person in that was riding the bus that happened to me. That's partly why I ended up in winding myself up in the front and decided to stay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely two of the weirdest situations that I winded up in.
Yeah, that's fucked. Like, guys, just don't be a cunt, man. Just don't fucking do it, man.
Be nice to people, man. Look, if you're on public transport, on a plane, you both want the same thing, right? You're both going somewhere. On a plane, you're going to the same place. On a bus or a train, some might be getting off sooner than others. It's not, if you want to make conversation with someone, just be normal. And if they don't want to make conversation back, you don't force it. You just
leave it.
Yeah, man, headphones in, just zone out in it. Like, not everyone wants to chat to you. Like, that's kind of the unfortunate thing about humans. A lot of people are quite self-indulged, and that's not necessarily, a bad thing, but it's just let people live their own life, man. Don't go out of your way to force your will on someone else and as a result ruin their day. Or their month, or their week, or just their life, depending. Don't. It's horrible, man. Yes, Karina.
Go
for it. Sorry, I was rambling.
No.
Pissed me off.
So this is only one situation. This was completely accident to my fault, but so I'm very prone to just completely passing out.
Yeah.
Anyways, this happened more recently. I was actually on, and I actually kind of feel bad. I feel bad just thinking about it every time. That's kind of funny. So yeah, I was on a train. I was flying. Where was I flying? Was it LA? It was somewhere more recent. Anyways, I was flying, and there's I was in the middle, right?
Yep.
And then there's a person on each side. I wound up I just remember waking up, and so you know how some people sleep? I guess they were sleeping with their head
forward.
onto the
seat in front of them.
Yeah, kind of thing.
So uncomfortable. I don't know how people do
well,
that.
Actually, it wasn't really the seat. It wasn't the seat, but it was the
fold out.
The table, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I guess when I passed out onto their back.
Okay.
And I was just how long was I there? And I don't. It was did they wake up? Did they notice?
They just left you there. It's a long flight. Just some people just react to it what are you doing? Wake up, get off now. And then other people just be yeah, it's cool. I guarantee if me or Josh did that on a plane, we're getting punched, we're getting packed in, man. And he's
sweet little,
she can.
Yeah, it was just this yeah, it was this he was like a middle-aged guy, and just somehow I was just like, okay, obviously he was okay with it. That's fine. But yeah, if he was, yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing that I like recently did that I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad that I did that. Because like, you know, like some people might think that, oh, they did it on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Things happen, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. Right, let's move on to the next one I have. So the next tweet I have was when they were teasing the Go Fest details for this year. And there was this whole thread of you kind of went on a rampage of like screenshotting the buildings in the background, and you were like, Vancouver.
I remember that. Yeah, FURRIES. I was low key invested. Not gonna lie. Not that I was gonna go to any of the other ones other than Madrid, but I was invested.
Yeah. So I played a lot of the browser game. GeoGuessr.
Yeah. Go on, son.
Dude, I felt like I was watching GeoGuessr like on Twitter, like screenshots of buildings. You're like, yeah, Vancouver. Like, and you'd found the buildings on Google Maps and like.
So I actually, when I re-looked at it, it was actually a mirror, and that's why it kind of confused me. So when they did the clip, they did it right the first time, like when they first initially showed it. I think it was either the first or the second, and then when they showed it again, it was reversed into the other direction. So that's why it confused me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. But then I was like, wait. And it's like, I think I remember seeing this somewhere. And then, anyways, it all just kind of clicked. Because I've been to Vancouver several occasions. I've kind of technically, if you want to say, lived there over a period of, like, since I've lived here in Canada, I want to say it was, like, a few months of based off how many times I've visited down there. But, yeah. I kind of it took me a long minute, but I once I figured it out, I was like, it's there.
Yeah, and then it was a few thousand miles away from there. It was back in New York again. But yeah, the actual tweet was you replying to someone, and their tweet was if it's actually in Vancouver, my hometown. That would be insane. And you, and to be fair, like you said it with chest. You said pictures speak louder than words, and it was a screenshot like from the video, and then the two fucking buildings. And I'm like, damn, like you fully like dedicated to it. You were like, nope, it's happening.
Okay, do you know how much time I spent looking for those?
I can imagine a lot.
What did you type in? Like, what did you search? Like, how many pages of Google did we
so it wasn't just it wasn't just Vancouver. I searched because I was thinking of because I was like trying to think of like movies, because I was like, I thought I remember seeing it in a movie or somewhere. I was like trying to like basically go back to like different
you ended up down like a rabbit hole of all like rabbit holes.
Yeah, I want to say I spent like 6 to 8 hours. Like, I'm not even joking. Because I wanted to find it.
Done a shift.
I knew somewhere. And yeah, I actually gained, I think, like 60 followers from that one post.
Win's a win.
Yeah.
Win.
Dubs a dub, man. Take it.
It's like, damn. And it kind of just blew off from there.
Yeah.
Because there's reposts and stuff. But yeah.
So I was following that thread of tweets along like vividly, and like I'm like, damn, like she's going.
He's just there like she's onto something. She's onto something here, guys.
Yeah, like full fucking detective mode. And then it was New York, and I'm like, damn, like that's a lot of research.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed, and I was happy at the same time, because I was like, oh, like just the thought of it being in Vancouver. Like, I actually would have known good grind spots and, like, where to play. Because, like, I've been there before. I haven't actually had an opportunity to, like, actually full-on grinds play since I've been playing more hardcore, because family and stuff, usually when I do go down there, it's kind of just for that. But, yeah, there is quite a few good areas to play, and I kind of know a few people, or at least used to know a few people that played pretty hard down there. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, like I said, yeah, I was pretty invested in like IRL GeoGuessr, like on Twitter, like was pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So the third and final tweet, which is a banger, by the way. And to be fair, when I read it, I was so taken back by what I read. I'm like, I was kind of like, did she mean to post this?
Let me open it as well, just because I can only see the link.
Yeah. So you posted this November last year, and the tweet reads, "Come into a staff room break, smelling like ripe coochie and what appears to be soggy feet. Not the kind of combo I wanted to be coming to work smelling first thing in the morning, but I guess that's today's vibe." So like, we definitely need some context on that.
Strong.
Like,
strong.
So there isn't really too much. So what it is she actually got fired or quit. I don't know. But there's this one, like, not to really put on anything on weight or anything, but there's this really like big girl that always came in, and 80% of the time she stunk, but that time, oh my god, the whole not just the back room, the bathrooms, like everything smelled.
She hotboxed the office with her stinky puss.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Because with no context. With no context.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It could go like many other ways.
Yeah, right.
And I know exactly what you could be thinking.
Yeah, because with no context, I'm like, why the fuck would you tweet that about yourself? I'm like, that is pretty outlandish. Like,
woke up this morning, had breakfast, brushed my teeth. Oh, she smells. That'll be all right. Yeah, walking to work. You right, Gareth? Yeah. Julie, you good? Yeah. Just there, like, fucking.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, like
get the hazmats out. Fuck me.
Yeah, like, so I remember just reading that and just being like I had to like put my phone down and then re-pick it up to just like check what I'd read, and I'm like,
that's one of them. Has she been hacked? Like, has she been hacked?
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought. I was like,
nah, she's been like Facebook, like.
Yeah, because you know, ripe coochie is a very like vivid like image, right? And I'm like, surely.
I think of like
right.
I think of fruit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean.
Oh, we do now. At least with the context, we know exactly what you're referring to.
I was reading it, and I'm like, is she okay? Like, do we need to like check up on her?
Does she need an intervention? Like,
right? But then
does she need a bath? Like, what's going on, man? Like,
but then the funniest thing was, I was expecting to see some kind of weird comment, and just no one said anything like under it at all.
Everyone's just there, like, what's that meme where the guy's with the eyes, like.
Yeah,
just looking like either side, like, you gonna say it? Like, nah, man.
Yeah, and I was just
like. I know, like, because it's been brought up to me before, like, I know, like, with a lot of my, like, words and stuff, like, it's not always very, I guess, detailed or expressed in the right way, so it can be taken wrongly, but
makes sense in
that
your
definitely...
head.
Yeah, exactly.
So this bitch got fired for having a stinky... I just want to clarify what actually happened to this woman.
No. She had been working there for, I think, 6-8 months.
Okay.
And that's basically every time that she came in, she always stunk. Like,
that's one
always.
Way to fail your probation.
You were like, you know how far grocery tills are, or like, you know, any tills are from each other, right?
Yeah.
I could smell her from like 2 to 4 tills over.
Till number 5, fuck, you know what's going on? Till number 5 is muddy. Fuck that, everyone. Till number 3, go. Evacuate the fucking floor.
That is crazy.
She's fucking man. Oh shit! You just got shit going on the fucking conveyor belt. It's like, nah, man. You got all fruit going off and shit. Fuck that, nah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like. No, because like for me, like for me, like when you say that, I always think of like the cartoons. Of like the cartoons where someone smells and all the flowers like just die. Like
yeah, and you got X's in people's eyes, like people are smonged out, man. Nah.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is so fucking funny. I'm so glad we got context on that because I remember reading it and I'm like, that's such a weird thing to admit. Like,
yeah,
weird
flex, but okay.
Yeah,
you
I'm like,
you.
Yeah, I'm like,
we stand. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
I also really, a really like fine sense of smell. So like when I smell something like that, it just makes me nauseous.
You wish
like,
you wish you didn't. Yeah, you wish you didn't have such
I wish I didn't.
Yeah, that's funny.
Best of luck to this woman.
Sorry, that is
so
funny, man.
Like, hope she's doing well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to you, man. I'm sure you do well somewhere in the world. You know. To be fair, so one thing I did want to bring up with you being on it is I've noticed. So when I met you in London, like the first thing I noticed was the Pikachu ears, and I fully expected you to have them.
Like, I technically could still put them on. I just I don't know. I don't always wear them. I wear them usually for events because I technically have 2 of them, but the other one is like looks like it's meant for kids because of how close they are together, which was my first one. And my second one, I have it, but I don't want it to go like, bad. So I want to preserve it and use it for special times, whether it's community days or
So okay. So do you only wear those like for Pokemon events type thing?
Pokemon events, and sometimes I wore them to work once. Kids loved them, absolutely loved them. I do wear. So I have a collection of like cat and puppy ears. I think like 15-ish or so.
You're not like a furry, are you? Please tell me you're not a furry.
Disclaimer: no cats or puppies were harmed in the making of these ears.
So it depends on how you define furry. Like I would say like light furry for sure, but not like full on fursuit. I have thought about it, but again, that's like a whole other thing.
Yeah,
like it's like let's say Pokemon Go completely demolished. I'd probably consider it as my next like hobby or something. For sure.
That's fuck that question because we usually ask like what do people do like if this game wasn't a thing.
Okay, so obviously you don't have to talk about it, but like how the fuck do you get into that? Like because like I feel like I'm very open and it's something I don't understand. I remember being in London like early last year and there was a big like furry walk through London.
Yeah.
And I remember just seeing all these people and I'm just like I just didn't have a clue. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I don't understand like the concept of it.
I need to Google this. What are we? Is this what is it called? Like a furry? If I type in furry walk, am I gonna get?
Thomas, you are so innocent.
There's like furry communities, furry conventions. We don't have like in Edmonton. There isn't much for big ones, or like big conventions, or really much of any. I think it's Calgary and like British Columbia that has the bigger ones. But yeah, like it kind of like generally how it starts is like you get like was it Chubby? I think it's like or like basically a concept. You find a like piece of artwork that you like that is fully can be like purchased off the internet that is not copied by anyone else. You purchase that, then you basically make it into like a diagram and kind of like where it shows the front view, the back view, and then maybe like some paws or special like features that basically you can't really see otherwise that they zoom in on.
Okay, so just to like, because what I'm looking at on Google, it's like, I'm just seeing people like this one looks like Tony the Tiger. This brother looks like Tails from Sonic. Like I'm trying to work out. So is it like is it full on like, you know, it looks like they're all just wearing onesies, or is it like a bit of fur and like you're scantily dressed? Like, I'm just trying to work out like what it
it's really depends on the person and what they're comfortable with. Sometimes it also, because fursuits can be like anywhere from a couple thousand to like more expensive than a car. Yeah. That basically, well, not more expensive than a car, but like, I mean, if you're getting a used car, then yeah, it's about expensive or more than expensive than that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that, but
okay, but
yeah,
but why?
It's kind of definitely more. I think it's sometimes I feel for most, it's kind of like depends on what you can afford and what you're comfortable with.
Okay, but why?
He's just going to keep asking why.
Yeah, don't know why. Okay,
so different people do it for different reasons.
So for me, the only thing that I've seen that I've read is mainly like a fetish thing. Is from what I've read.
So there is that. There's that. There's also the fact of like basically like for being different. There's also communities where you can like, because you know how like say some people aren't like don't get into like video games or whatever. They're basically like playing as a different person or thing. It's like dressing up is like for cosplay. It's kind of like that in that aspect. And like for me personally, I don't I don't love kids or really like kids in general, but when I dress up and like sometimes whatever, I feel like it's a different like side of me that it's like, oh, this is actually kind of cool kind of thing.
You can express yourself in a different way, maybe,
yeah, and then like, you know, kids and like other people admire that. And I mean, there are the people that are like, oh, get out of here, you freak, you know what I mean, kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, overall, it's an experience, and sometimes it's worth trying.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair. That's fair. Because, like I said, like for me, it's not something that I've like looked into. Like I said, I've seen the people in London, and I'm just like, I can't process it in my head. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I just see people walking around in these like animal suits, and I'm like, okay, but why? Is like in my head.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it also what I think it is, because I haven't really been to a furry convention yet. Basically, and what I've seen off of videos is basically people like to play as like, you know, like animals or pets, or like, you know, give off like, have you ever had like, do you know, like for example, like have you terriers. So like terriers are very expressive with their like the way they move, and like whether it's head tilts or like certain things, like you see that, and it's like you see that like little personality out of them. So like when a person dresses up, I feel they can express a different side of them that they're not normally allowed or are able to express normally, because then they're hiding their face, their whatever, so you're able to express that sort of stuff.
So it's like furry, like, you know how people like obviously, you know, either do cosplay or like drag queens and stuff. It's just like it's in a similar mode. Okay, I understand. At the same time, I would probably still be like Josh, and if I see a bunch of like furry donnies walking down the high road, I'll be like, what's going on? I'll be intrigued to learn more. Yeah, I'll be like, what you mentioned that you going Mackie? Like, where you lot going, innit? Like, you lot just walking around, like, yeah, man. But no, fair play, like. Fair play. Like I'm not surprised it's so expensive though. Like, cause you know, cosplay and all that, and just like, you know, buying all these like very niche outfits. You know, it's a fair investment. Like, and you know, I respect it. I can't knock it. I've never tried it myself.
I mean, I can only go off. So I spend a lot of time like on the internet, like Twitter and stuff like that, and a lot of the stuff you see, especially Twitter, furry wise, is pretty like.
What, man? They're hating on it. Hating on the furries,
like it's a lot like not safe for work stuff that I see
Okay,
like,
so that's some
online.
kinky. That's what, because when Queen was saying about like it's, like kids and stuff. So I'm guessing there are some aspects like, and maybe the conventions, I could be wrong, like are family friendly, but then there are other people that obviously may be into the more like lewd sort of.
Oh, there is like, well, for me, I generally dress, I guess, safe. So like one of my favorite commissions that I got done was do you know Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I basically I dressed up as her from, and basically, yeah, a lot of kids like loved and instantly knew who I was dressing up as based off that. So like you don't have to always. Sorry?
No, I was just a random thought, just saying I really like How to Train Your Dragon. Just ignore me. Keep going.
Okay,
yeah.
So sorry. So I just picked on. You said you were commissioned to do it. So like.
Well, they are a commission. Like basically, I paid them to do it. Like do the.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I thought you meant the other way around.
You were paid. Like someone commissioned you, and you dressed up as Astrid.
No, I actually don't know the actual proper term of that. So I just. Yeah. So basically, I had paid them to do some work for me for the regarding the people. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Like the Pikachu is and stuff. So like for me, and it annoyingly, it's quite like a meme for me. So whenever I go to these Pokemon events, I have a bright green Seattle Seahawks hat, and I wear it to every like Pokemon event. So people like know like where I am, because I normally have like a group with me, like thing.
Yeah.
And then playing events in London, it's easy to get lost. So bright fucking green hat just like sticks out, right? So
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if it was like that sort of thing as well. So like people like recognize you.
Yeah. Like the one thing that I get, so like the one thing that I feel that I'm most like when I do dress up, like is my level 50 jacket that I made.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, I remember that.
Yeah, so like with the level 50 jacket, even though like a lot of people don't recognize exactly where it's from, I mean you kind of think like even Pokemon Go players, they were just like, cool outfit or whatever, but they never like really pointed out that about the jacket, and it's like, seriously.
Yeah, you went to all that effort
I put so
making
much
it, and
time into that.
all the effort making a jacket, and people are like, nice ears. Like it seems a bit of a kick in the teeth. Yeah. Nice ears, trainer. We're not looking at the jacket. Yeah, we're looking at your ears. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Someone in the live chat.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, people from like fests and stuff always like generally say stuff, but I mean just general public, they're like, oh, just cute outfit or whatever.
The people you're meeting up at Go Fest are like correct me if I'm wrong, are like they're gonna be like level 50, maybe like grinders, or like like they'll know what the jacket is. Where like somebody's like in like 2024 ain't even hit level 50, probably never seen the jacket.
Yeah.
So it's like I get what you're saying. Josh, what were you saying?
Yeah.
Sorry?
No. So someone
said, "Let's see the jacket."
Yeah.
If you've got the jacket to hand, you can. We're not going to make you. But,
I can. One second.
So for anyone listening back on Apple Music, Spotify, if you jump over to YouTube and come over to this like time spot, you get to see the jacket. Because I think I remember. Yeah, this is it.
I can't believe you made it. That looks so lit.
I mean, I had to probably.
That looks so good. Like the fact that you made it as well. Cool.
So I customized this part. Well, actually, so what it is I bought the jacket, and then I hand designed all of the patches, and with the proper sizing, scaling it down to my jacket size. And then I had someone basically hand embroider the patches.
Nice.
And so all of the patches are, you can't really see it, but you kind of can.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah.
If you don't mind us asking, how much, like, in terms of the investment in the jacket, getting someone to, how much did the jacket, like, cost? Like, how much did it set you back to
so
have
the
the jacket
on its own was like 300 USD.
Okay.
Which is around like 450 CAD. The patches, aside from my time, because we won't include that, because that was a lot of time to design. But I want to say, I think they were like 300 as well. Like, well, that's CAD though to
For
make, and then
for the patches, like all the patches. Please tell me that's for all the patches and not per patch.
Yeah, it was all the patches. Yeah, thankfully that was actually really cheap because this one in particular, basically the cost, and no one would have made it. The cost technically to make it would have been almost $300 on its own to get it made by anyone.
Yeah.
Because there was only, I think, 2 companies that were that had it available to like make, because they had the proper printer to like scale it down and without screwing it up, because generally most apparently patches can only be like, I think it's like 6 inches by 6 inches or something like that.
Sounds pretty big to me.
And this is like, I think if I remember correctly, it's almost, I think it's like 11 inches wide, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I'm just looking at, I'm looking at the price of a level 50 jacket now on Google. $79.99. That's looking a bargain.
No, so I was so pissed. So what it was is right after level 50, the kit thing came out. I started working.
You made the jacket before it got released, sort of thing.
No? So before that. So hear me out. So I was designing. So I started working on it the second level 50 came out. But I didn't get it fully, like I had all the patches made, and then I had put it off to the side for like I think 2 months after everything was done, and then I just hear a pre-release thing of Japan releasing the jackets for like $100, and I was like, WTF! I was so pissed. Yeah. I was like, oh, of course. But thankfully, they were all black ones. I was so happy because they were all black and mine was green.
Oh, you can't buy the green one anywhere?
What?
You can't buy the green one anywhere?
No, not that I'm aware of. They're only black.
What's this?
They're only black. And so I was like so happy because I was like, at least people will know that it's different. Like, because it's like, oh, it's probably another one of those. Because otherwise, if it was black, people would be like, oh, it's probably from that Pokemon Go Center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm seeing one from some dodgy looking website, subtlefashionstore.com. Green level 50 jacket was $180. It is now on sale for $145, and the sizes range from small to large. So, yeah. But that website looks sus. But yeah, no, generally speaking, I didn't know that they actually didn't release the green one in the Pokemon Center. That's pretty cool. I guess that's something that your jacket, you know, that makes it worth it.
That's one thing that I'm like insanely happy about, that mine is green. And mine has like the official remove before flight tag and all that, whereas theirs is like this little flimsy thing.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Get the badge in. Love that.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know, I feel like it's a good time to wrap up. I didn't realize it's been 2 and a bit hours already. Like, it's been a long episode. Unless Thomas, you got anything you wanna speak about?
No, nothing that comes to mind. I feel like that's because the main reason it feels on, because a lot of the episodes we've done have just been with the 2 of us. So sometimes we wind it down maybe in like half the time. But when we have a special guest on, we need to unpack. There are layers that we need to rip back, and we started with some Pogo. We ended up talking about furries and some weird fuckers on buses. So yeah, just don't be the weird fucker on the bus, guys. Any of you just coming in or have been in from the start, just allow it. Just be nice. Like, it's really not that difficult. And if it is that difficult for you, that's fine. Just kind of keep it to yourself. Like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? Just be nice to people, and I'm sure, you know, kindness will find its way into your life in some way, shape, or form. And that's what we'll end. That's what we'll end.
So that is philosophical for you, man. That is proper philosophical
yeah,
for me.
Philosopher.
Merman says he thinks we need another episode with me.
Oh, he already wants another episode. We can run it back because we need to. Season 2 will be round the corner. It feels.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there was one more tweet I was going to ask, but yeah, I don't know. We say that for another venture. I reckon.
Yeah, no worries.
He's just going to ask afterwards. That's what that means. But anyway,
it's been a blast.
Yeah, we can round this one up.
Karina, thank you so much for coming on. We really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. It's been a great episode.
Yeah.
For anyone listening back, Apple Music, Spotify, watching back, YouTube, you can find her over on twitter.com, StormySparrow93. You follow her on Twitch as well. If one of the mods can drop a shout out.
I also have Linktree. So it's Linktree, you know, whatever, StormySparrow, and then that's it.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely include that. Yeah. So, thank you so much for coming on. Thomas, as always, been a pleasure chatting to you.
It feels like it's been a while, but...
Yeah, it has been a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
When are we next back, Thomas? We back next week?
Yeah, we're back next week. We'll try and, business... You know, we'll hopefully resume as normal now that I'm back from all my ventures, because it's been a bit stop-start in the crazy life of Thomas Young 1997. Let's get our in-game there right this time. But yeah, we'll be back regular Friday podcast streams. We'll be back. Episode number 34. This one was next week. Episode 35. We may have a special guest. We may not. We just don't like telling you that. You know, it defeats the purpose. Yeah, we'll keep it.
All the surprises.
We were talking about this off stream when you were like, every time I'd be in your stream, you're just like, we need to talk, and it sounded like so cryptic, and I'm like, shit, what have I done? I feel like I'm being told off. But no, it was all related to the podcast. But no, honestly, it's been such a good episode, and it's been it's been lovely to learn more about you, not just from a Pokemon point of view, but also other hobbies. And you know, I wouldn't have known anything about the furry thing, and that's something I've learned for today. And I feel like if I can learn something new every day, and if you guys can learn something new every day, then that is the way to go. But guys, we're gonna round this one up. Those of you watching live on twitch.tv/ThomasYoung1997, salute you. Listening back on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all relevant streaming platforms, big up yourself. And we will be back next week, 7 p.m. UK time.
See you later.
In a bit.